and welcome to this class. My name is Feisha Obilesomi and I'm your tutor for today. I'm going to be coaching you in accounting and bookkeeping. I would like to know you. Can you just type your name in the chat for me to see and where you're joining us from? You can go to the chat and just type in your name and let us know where you're joining us from. Many more people are still joining in this class this evening. We're going to have a great time, a rewarding time. Okay, I can see Mark from Abuja. Wow. Myro from Germany. Olajide from Port Harcourt. Olashade from England. Wow. It's great to have you all here. It's great to have you all here. Luashe from Ibadan. Toyin from Lagos. Makinde Songwater. Paul from Abeokuta. Wow. It's great to have everyone here. Let's just give a minute or two as we get to know one another. Wow, more people. Dapo from Abeokuta. Good evening, Dapo. Great to have you here. Emmanuel from Ibadan. People are joining us from everywhere. Ikechukwu Okere. Oh, Ikechukwu, I'm not just joining on, I'm not jumping on purpose. It's moving as people are typing. I guess that's why. Mary from Ibadan. So I'm going to, let me scroll down and let's see. So we have Coach Adeshola from Abuja. We have Ade Damola from Ibadan. We have Mark from Abuja, I called earlier, Samuel from Lagos, Temitope from Ile-Ife, Myro Anthony from Germany, Bankole Urala from Ibadan, Simon Ampa from Ghana, Felix Fadi. Felix, how are you doing? From Lagos, Nigeria, Lajide Port Harcourt, Falashade, England, Lily from Ikorodu, Lagos, Ikechukwu, Redemption City of God, Mowe, Macaulay, Uyo, Lot from Lagos. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you. Let's have more introductions as we join in. Let's introduce ourselves. I would love to know where you're joining us from this evening. Get to know you a bit while you get to know me as we begin to take the training this evening. And trust me, it's going to be a very, very rewarding one. You will learn some things that will help you a great deal, in your business. Adeyinka from Ibadan, Adeboju Oyeniyi from Ibadan as well. Scott Francis from Ibadan. Great to have you guys here. Gabriel from Ibadan. Devon from Lagos. Deji from Ibadan. All right. I believe many more people are going to join in, and we're going to have a wonderful time. So it's great to have everyone here. My name is, okay, we have some other people, Christiana from Abuja, Gabriel from Offa, Kwara State, Isaac from Owe. From time to time, I'll just give a shout out to you as you join. Okay, so let's begin. We only have 1 hour for this class, and we've already taken about 7 minutes out of that 1 hour introducing ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Feisha Obilisumi, and I'm a business coach, a finance coach. I'm a graduate of the University of Lagos, Akoka. If you're an Akokite, you can just, give a wave. Let's see. Greatest Akokites, glory to God. Okay, so I'm also a pastor. So if I say glory to God or anything like that, just know that, okay, that's where that is coming from. Okay, so, but I'll minimize it as much as I can, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. So, like I said, my name is Feisha Obilisumi. I'm a graduate of Accountng, University of Lagos, Unilag. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. I've been practicing now for about 2 decades, over 2 decades. So I've done it all. Started my career, first of all, in the insurance sector. Then I went into banking, then into stockbroking. I worked in those different sectors of the economy. They are all in the finance sector, really, but, in different sections of it. And from there, I gleaned a lot. I was able to put a lot together. Then started my firm a couple of years ago. And basically, we serve businesses, small scale, medium scale, large scale businesses. We have businesses who are in their hundreds of thousands, some in their tens of millions, some in their hundreds of millions, and some their turnover is into the billions. So I'm hoping that our businesses will blossom and grow, not just the budding phase, but also get into, where those businesses are in the tens of millions, in the hundreds of millions, and in the billions, right? That's the success that we all hope to have. And I pray that, we all get there. So aside from FOPCA Consulting, which is one of the businesses that I run, I also run several other businesses. So as you get to know me, I'm going to be sharing a slide with you now. And from there, we will begin to look at a few things here and there. Okay. Okay. So, we're in the process of the sharing. I'm not sure if you can see my slide yet. Can you see? Can you see my slide? If you can see the slide, please let me know. All right, that's great. That's great. Okay. So we're going to move to the very, very top of the slide. Just take you through some of the things. All right. So like I was saying, I was talking about some of the things that I've done and what I'm doing currently. So I'm currently the principal of Faisha Obile Sami and Co Chartered Accountants, the chartered accounting firm, just as the name connotes. We are into auditing, accounting, financial advisory services to individuals, to businesses and organizations. I also founded FOPCA Consulting, through which we are holding this training this evening. We offer comprehensive financial and business consulting services, including financial planning, budgeting, business strategy development. We do all of those things. I'm also into agribusiness. So we're into farming there and processing. We do quite a lot. Then I'm also a co-founder of Ready Admin Assistant International. Is a virtual assistant agency. We provide virtual administrative support to businesses. Then also, I'm an executive of My Aid International. It's an MFI, and we provide loans, microloans, services to underdeserved communities. So that's just basically about me. So I'm happily married with 3 beautiful children. So the question is, why accounting? For me, why accounting? A lot of people don't like accounts. A lot of people don't even want to do anything as it pertains to figures, especially when it comes to accounting. I picked accounting not because I really wanted to. I didn't really like numbers in secondary school, but someone actually told me, a father figure of mine, to go for accounting. It's a professional course, and it will help you a great deal. So I decided, instead of banking and finance, because my mom was in banking, so I decided to go for accounting instead of banking and finance. And was it challenging? Yes. Till I got the hang of it, like I said here, I struggled with it. Accounting is not one of those things that you just pick up off the bat, but it is actually very, very simple. And that's what I'm here to show you today, how simple it is and how important it is, that, we keep our books, the books of our businesses. It will help the business to soar to greater heights. All right, so let's move on. Okay. I have to remove something. Keeps popping up here. All right, let's go on. We're going to look at some of the issues that individuals face. Individuals and businesses face in making sense of their records. Basically, the thing about accounting is it's just all a game of numbers. How you can put your figures together, how well you can put your figures together. But how well you can put your figures together will determine how far you can go. There's something I've come to realize, and one of the reasons why I decided to have this course I have this online training course. Because over the years, over the 2 decades that I've been serving businesses, I realized that a lot of businesses actually have issues with their books. Now, when clients bring books to us, we realize that their books are incomplete most of the time. They don't keep proper records, not because they don't want to. And some of the issues they have are the things we're going to be looking at. For individuals, for instance, they may not know where to start from. You're not sure how to manage your money or how to do your accounts. You have no time. Your business keeps you busy. You're always busy. Can't find time to sort out your finances. Paperwork mess, receipts here and there. Some have been thrown away. You don't even know where they are. So you have lots of receipts and papers. You don't know how to organize them. Some people have tax troubles. That's when they remember that I need to keep my records, or some people have lost some opportunities due to, oh, bring your records, let's see, so that we can invest in your business or whatever. And then they find out that they are not able to present anything. Why? Because really the books are not available. They've not kept it. Some have issues with budgeting. They struggle to even put the budget together, talk less of sticking to the budget. Some actually put it together somehow, but they are not able to stick to it. So we're going to look into some of those things this evening. That's for individuals. For business owners, accounts can be quite complicated. I can tell you that. You may find it hard to understand and manage your business finances. You may not have enough resources, so you may not have the time or money or staff to do your accounts. You may have cash flow worries. You struggle to manage the money coming in and out of your business. Some have issues following the rules and regulations, financial rules and regulations, whether of the country they are in or of their state or whatever, of the tax regulatory bodies, the government bodies that are overseeing their kind of business, because they're not keeping proper accounts. Some cannot even make sense of the numbers. They find it hard to understand what their business numbers mean and how to use them to make decisions. So these are some of the issues that, people face. All right. Let's see. Also, these are some other common issues. Putting it off. Some keep putting it off, so it keeps piling up. Some people have 5 years of accounts they've not been able to put together. Doing things manually, writing things down. The paper is here, the book is there. You can't find it after some time. The kids have played with it and written jargons on it. I'm sure that parents can relate with that. Some important books that children play with, right? Then we have lack of knowledge. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to use the accounting software. Some even bought the software, but they don't know what to do with it, right? Also poor planning, poor financial planning which can also lead to problems in your accounts. Now, the implications, let's look at the implications of some of these things. Let's look at the implications. Number one, financial problems. Not managing your finances properly can lead to money troubles, debts, and even business closure. Yeah. During the COVID era, a lot of business went under. Yes, because of the trouble in the economy, but some also because they've not been managing their books properly. So they didn't even know where they were. They couldn't manage things to, after the COVID, they couldn't come out of it, right? Stress and anxiety. Poor financial management can cause stress and anxiety, affecting your mental and physical health. So accounting and bookkeeping goes beyond just the surface. It can really affect a lot of things if it's not properly done. Missed opportunities, not having a clear financial picture can lead to missed opportunities, like grants, like some people vying for grants, for instance. They tell them, bring your statement, your bank statement, bring your books of accounts. They want to see books you've been using for years and years and years. They want to see you bring those things out. They want to see the Excel sheets you've been keeping for years. These are not things that you can quickly doctor and just give them. They have to, those things have to correlate, kind of, so it is important that you keep those books. Those books are the ones that will help you show them the health of your business, whether the business is a thriving one and they can put their money into it, right? Then also legal issues. Not following financial rules and regulations can lead to fines, penalties, and even legal actions, as quite a number of people, have with the FIRS, the Federal Inland Revenue Service. If you're in Nigeria, if you're in the US, for instance, is the IRS, and different countries will have their different ones, but it can lead to troubles with these entities. These issues can overwhelm, but knowing what they are is the first step to solving them. Now, let's go into solving them. We are all about solutions, not just itemizing the problems, but knowing what the problems are will help us bring out the solutions, give it the right solutions, right? Solution one, you can seek professional help if you cannot do it on your own. You can hire an accountant or bookkeeper to help you manage your finances. You can use accounting softwares, things like QuickBooks and Wave, so many in the market right now. Some are a bit complicated, but once you learn them, it's easy. Create a budget, make a budget to track your income and expenses, and make informed financial decisions, right? Okay. You can also work on staying organized. One of the things that I've noticed with a lot of clients that come to us is that their books are not organized. A lot of them don't even have books at all. People just spend mostly maybe from their bank accounts, from their pockets. They don't write those things down. They don't know. So at the end of the day, the problems that they face when they are not organized is this. When they bring their books to us, we put the books together. And then in some cases, in most cases, you see huge amounts of profits, sometimes in the millions. And the client will tell you, no, I've not made this kind of money. Where did I get this kind of money from? Where did you get this kind of money from? I didn't make this kind of money. So, and then we, on the other hand, are wondering, okay, so these are the books you brought to us. We have put these books together, put your accounts together, and this is what we're getting. But on the other hand, they are telling us, no, I don't have this money. This money does not exist. Why do they have issues like that? Incomplete records. People don't keep their records. As simple as that. They don't keep proper records. So then you start asking them, okay, so what do you think is the problem here? My cost is more than this. Let me go and look for it. Let me look for this receipt. Let me check here. No. Let me ask the customer to give me my invoices. They are now trying to pull things together. The cost is more than this. Yes, we may have made this amount of sales, or this is not all the sales we made. Why do they have issues like that? Incomplete records. So you have to stay organized. Yeah, it's a primary thing that every business must do. Every business owner must do. Every individual must do. Stay organized. Your receipts, have a place where you file all your receipts. You may not be like keeping tabs like that. Ensure that one of the ways you can easily stay organized is ensure that your money comes from one source, goes out from one source. Maybe you have a particular account that if you want to transfer from, you want to transfer money out, you're transferring only from that account. Or you have maybe 2 accounts that you use maximum, and all the monies you're using are going out from there. You're not now taking money from your pocket and spending on the business, not recording it. Because we know that some people can be quite lazy with that. But when you're making your transfers and you put description, always have description in your transfers. You put descriptions there. It helps you stay better organized. You can use that to analyze the transactions you have done over a period, to be able to pull out your expenses properly, to pull out your costs, the cost of your business, of running your business, of buying products, yeah, of paying salaries and things like that. So staying organized is very, very important. Basic accounting is the next one. Learn basic accounting, and that's why we're here today. It's one of the primary things that every business owner must. You may not know everything about debit and credit, right? But you can do something. You can learn the basics so that at least you can keep proper records. Then an accountant can now help you put that together so that you really see the health of your business. If you can't put all your accounts together, some of the things I'm going to show you today, some people may say, I may not be able to put this together or not. But the basic records I'm going to show you today, please try and be able to put those and work on putting those things together so that even when the accountant is working, the accountant is able to get the proper figures out for you so that it is not something that is just far-fetched, that you, at the end of the day, you don't really know how well the business is doing, right? Part of the solution is outsourcing the task. Some people they just keep the basic records, send it out to reduce stress, free up their time so that they can pay attention to their business. Also, regular review of your finances to identify areas for improvement and make adjustments as needed. All right, so these are some of the solutions that you can easily work on to ensure that you have things working perfectly, right? Additional tips: begin with simple financial tasks and gradually build up to more complex ones, right? Little things, like little things I'm going to be showing you today. Regularly update your financial records and stay on top of your finances. It can be when you're more relaxed during the week. Maybe just give it an hour or two, put your records in place, right? Seek support, join an online community like what we have, like what we're putting together right now, where you can ask questions. If you're facing challenges, you can ask and solutions will be provided, right? All right. So from here, we're going to go to the definition of some terms, right? We're going to be defining some terms. Number one is accounting. What is accounting? I've made it as easy as possible. Everyone can get it, right? Sorry about that. I'm just trying to push things up a bit. All right. So, what is accounting? You know, like I said before, I wasn't so down with accounting. Accounting is one of those things that are a bit tricky. You know, they tell you it's just debit and credits. You don't need to do much, just debit and credits. Debit and credit can be a bit complicated, but also simple once you get it, and you're going to get it. What is accounting? Accounting is the process of tracking and managing a business's money. That's all. Tracking and managing the money. That is what accounting is all about. You have to be able to track it. You have to be able to manage it properly, right? Now let's look at bookkeeping. What is bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is the act of recording daily financial transactions. So today we're going to be working more with bookkeeping, right? Because that's like the ground zero of accounting, right? We have to keep our books before we can bring out financial statements. Okay. So bookkeeping is the act of recording daily financial transactions. Now, types of accounting. Let's look at types of accounting. We have the financial accounting, which helps outsiders, investors, creditors understand a company's financial health, right? So in your financial accounting, for instance, you have things like your income statement, your balance sheet, you have your cash flow statement, you have your statement of equity, you have your asset schedules and things like that. You know, if you've ever seen an account that is submitted to a regulatory body, for instance, that is financial accounts. They call them annual financial statements, you know, shows the health of the business. So when outsiders come in, let's say investors, those who want to help us in our business, invest in our businesses, creditors, they want to give us credit, a line of credit, for instance. Those who want to give grants, for instance. Also, even our board, you know, the board of directors, they would like to see the financial accounts of the business to see how the business is, the health of the business is, whether it is good or not so good, whether it is sick or it is healthy. Our businesses are healthy. All right. The second type of accounts, the second one, number two, is managerial accounting. It helps business owners make informed decisions. Management accounts, as they're called, breaks things down. Financial accounts are more of accumulation. Things have been accumulated, put together, you know, into different headings. But managerial accounting, which is also called management accounts, breaks things down completely so that the owner of the business knows, okay, so I'm spending too much on transportation. So how are we doing on transport? We shouldn't be doing this much on transport. Entertainment, we spend too much on entertainment and all. In financial accounting, financial statements, you may not see it under those headings. They may have been collapsed, right, into something like welfare or whatever. So you're going to be thinking, okay, welfare. You're not going to be thinking, oh, we had some snacks, we had this, we went to see a movie, we did some, you know, as some businesses will do during bonding, times of bonding, and it's completely acceptable, but you have to manage your cost as well. Then we have cost accounting. It helps businesses calculate production costs, especially for manufacturing businesses. Cost accounting is so important because it helps you manage the cost such that your business, when you're bringing out your products, they are, what's it called now? Competitive. Your prices are competitive, right? You know that Nigeria, for instance, I'm using Nigeria as an illustration. For those of us who are watching from other nations, I'm sure that you may have something similar or maybe a little different. We have a lot of imports coming into the country, right? So you may have other businesses who import what you produce within the same country. As they bring in their products, you don't want your product to be too pricey for the consumer to buy your product. So your cost accounting needs to be on point, yeah? So that with ease, you can compete favorably in the market and still make profits, right? Okay, let's move on. Why is accounting important? Accounting helps businesses to make informed decisions, manage money effectively, identify financial problems, stay compliant with laws and regulations. And these things are very important, right? Now, let's look at some basic accounting concepts. We have the assets, liabilities, and we have equities. For example, buying a house is an asset. Why is it an asset? Why is it called an asset? Assets are things that you can later exchange for money, right? A liability, taking a loan, is a liability to your business, right? Because you have to pay it back. You are owing someone. And then we have what we call owner's equity or capital. That's which you bring into your business in the first instance, right? So that's it. Where you find this is in the balance sheet, what we call the balance sheet. It's also called the statement of financial position, but let's not go into all of that. That's not necessary. Then we have our income statement, which is also known as our profit and loss statement, where we have our income, our expenses, and then we have our profit or loss. Example, for instance, selling products. For example, selling products is an income. When you make sales, it's an income. Let's say you're into sale of, let's see, give me an example. Let's say some of us here, what are the kind of businesses that we do? Sale of, can you type in? Tiger nut drinks. Okay, sale of tiger nut drinks. Every sale you make is an income. It is also called revenue into your business, right? It's also called revenue. It could also be it could be sale of anything. For instance, I run a consulting business. Most of my businesses have to do with exchanging knowledge for money. When money comes into my business, when clients pay for my services, it is an income to me. right? I can say ice blog, vegetable, fruits and vegetable, pharmacy, lifestyle, entertainment, treats. Yeah. So you can sell any of those things and make an income, right? So it is recorded in your books as an income. Then now let's look at our expenses. We have things like transportation. Now let me break down income for you. There are different ways you can look at your income. There's the I'm talking about expenses rather. Expenses. You have direct expense that we call the direct cost to the business. That without those costs, you can't even run at all. For instance, let's say tiger nuts. You have to buy tiger nuts, right? And then, do all the processing and things like that. So you buying tiger nuts, without it, you cannot produce tiger nut drinks, completely out of the question. Pineapple juice, for instance, you cannot, you have to buy pineapples. Without it, there is no pineapple. Without pineapples, no pineapple juice, no income. So that expense is a direct expense to your business. It must be done, right? The transport that comes with you bringing in that product, everything that is spent on bringing in that product is a direct expense to that business. So for instance, let me give you an example. So you buy tiger nuts, what, 100,000. You brought it in with transportation of, say, 5,000. That's 105,000, right? Maybe offloading and little costs here and there. Okay, so expenses, we were talking about direct expenses. So for the tiger nut business that we were using as our example, for instance, that's a direct cost. Without it, there's no tiger nut. Now, for a service-based business, what are those things that are key to you providing that particular service? Without it, you may not be able to provide that service to your client. So those things are very, very important. Those are your direct costs. And you have to factor them in from the very beginning. Like the Bible says, there's no one that goes into any form of business without first counting the cost. You must count the cost, first of all, to see whether anything is going to come out of it before you go in, so you don't bite your fingers. All right. So from there, income minus expenses will give you your profit. Expenses also include things like transport, things like airtime, any other subscription you do, licenses for your business, and things like that. All right, let's move on. We also have what we call cash versus accrual accounting. Now, your cash accounting is, for instance, somebody who only deals on cash basis. That's all. When they sell and they collect money, that's when they record it. When they've not gotten the money, it is not recorded in their books that they have made any sale. Whereas the accrual is such that anything, as long as the customer has taken it away, whether they have paid for it or not, they record the revenue. Yeah. So when you hear accrual simply means whether payment has been made for something or not. It's recorded. Revenue is recorded. What have you learned so far from the little that you've that has been taught? What have you learned so far? The importance of accounting in every business, the meaning of basic accounting concepts. Good. All right. Wow. Okay. That's good. Accrual accounting. You never knew there was such a thing. That's the bulk of your sales. Good. Now you know, and you know how to deal with it. Labeling your bank transactions accordingly is vital for proper accounting. You learned a lot in cost accounting. That's good. Beautiful. Staying organized with all the records and not losing the papers. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, so let's quickly move on. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. Count the cost well. Yeah, very, very important. You must count the cost well before you begin any endeavor so that you don't find yourself in a lodge at the end of the day. Now we have gotten to the nitty-gritty of the matter, where a lot of people some get discouraged, but we are not discouraged, right? Now, the first thing is we're going to look at the general records of this company, for instance. It's just a pseudo company that we're using. So Mr. Bash Nigeria Limited, for instance, is into plastics. That's what they do. They supply plastics. And you can see all the transactions of Mr. Bash here. Yeah, they started with cash in their account of about 500,000. They bought goods from OK Plastics. They did welcome party for staff, paid in cash, did some marketing expenses, maybe advertisements and the likes, made sales, purchase of furniture, office stationery, credit sales. They have credit sales, things they sold to people on credit. They have their imprest, which I'm still going to explain to you. They have airtime, for their staff to make calls, maybe to market or get in touch with clients or customers, data subscription. They bought office printer and paid immediately. They were not owing. They have cash sales, 50 units of plastics at 500 naira. So you can see here, they are just general records. Everything is just being kept in one place. And in my business, I've seen clients who keep their records like this. They just put everything in one place, then they give it to us to help them just pull everything apart and put them in their different compartments. So right now I'm going to show you some of those compartments. Now, for instance, the first thing I'm going to show you is the purchase records. Now, Mr. Bash Nigeria Limited buys plastics from OK Plastics, right? Their purchase record is very, very easy. Just the date. You can see here the date, the name of the supplier, the reference number on the invoice that they were given, the items that they purchased, the unit amount for each single one, then the quantity purchased, input VAT. That's, in Nigeria, we have 7.5% VAT. Then we have the total value of the item that they bought and the date that they made the payment. Then the type of payment that it was. Was it in cash? Was it transfer? If they've not made the payment, you see it there as credit. So they know that they are owing OK Plastics. For instance, the first one is a credit, 200,000, right? The fourth one is a credit as well, 40,000 naira. So with something as simple as this, you can keep your purchase records in such a way that it's easy for you to see what it is that you have purchased, how much you purchased it, what the quantities that you purchased, the unit amount. And it's very, very important. For instance, when we had that issue in Nigeria where prices were fluctuating so badly, if you don't have your purchase records, you will make losses. Why? Because it's simple. The price of yesterday is not the price of today. Even in some items still today, is still that way. People will tell you, is this week's price. If you come next week, might have gone up. Materials might have gone up again. So, for instance, that kind of business, if you are not keeping tabs on what you're buying, you're going to find that you're having issues. All right. Another record that must be kept is the sales records, right? Now here, there you have the records of how you brought in items, then your sales records. Your sales records, how you sold those items. It must have things like dates. Date is so important because you need to be able to calculate your profit for every month. So you must have dates. You must have things like item number, the name of the items, the description of the items, because you may have similar items, right? You may have, like, for instance, here, we have different things. We have bottles, we have cups, we have plates, we have containers, we have different things, different products. Those different products may be in, different liters, 100 liters, 50 liters, 2 liters, 10 liters, like that. You must have your description so you know the exact products that you're referring to. Then the unit price of each product. Then the means of payment that the customer used in purchasing from you. In the purchase records, you put the means through which you purchased from the company that you bought from. Now you're putting your own, how they purchased from you, so that you can keep your records appropriately. Your staff collected cash in this instance. It's transfer, so it's in the bank statements. It's credit, so the customer is still owing you. Do you get what I'm saying? It could be part payments. They have made some payments in cash, or they made some payments in transfers, and then you still have a balance. So you see the means of payment, the quantity that was purchased, the amount, taxes, if any, then you see the total, right? You see the total amount here. This is an Excel sheet, very, very easy to put together. Anyone can put it together. And if you don't have that knowledge, we have trainings on that. We can teach you how to do this. We can train you how to put all of this together and just make it very easy for you. So you just fill up. All right, now let's look at the expense. Expense, you see, in the first, you have your general transactions here. These are the transactions that we broke down. You can see welcome party for staff. Yeah. The meals, 50,000 naira. Marketing expenses. You scroll, you see under marketing and advertisement, you have 30,000 naira. You have stationery. You scroll down further, you see stationery 5,000, like that. Airtime. This is what we call analysis of accounts in accounting, in bookkeeping. When you analyze the accounts to know how much exactly have we spent on meals, how much have we spent on electricity, how much did the bank charge us, our bank charges, right? And other expenses like that. From there, we'll move to the cash book. Now, the cash book is simply telling you how much cash has come into the business and how much cash has gone out of your business. Now, in your cash book, you have opening balance for 500. Remember, we talked about that at the very beginning, 500,000. Then you bought products and paid OK Plastics, part payment, 160,000. Welcome party, 50,000. Because money was going out in cash. So the cash account is doing what? Is coming down, is reducing. Then sales was made, 25,000 naira sales, increased the cash again. Then office furniture was purchased, reduce the cash again. Stationery, you can see it. Let's look at our inventory. Inventory is the balance of what you have. Balance of what you have left in your stock. And this is so important because if you don't have a good knowledge of your inventory, you can have staff who are pilfering from you and you don't even know. So inventory management is a big part of, especially those who are into sales. You must know what you have. It helps what we call your reorder level, for you to know your reorder level so that you can reorder products, so that your products do not get finished before you order. And customers are asking, and you know how customers are. Once they are not able to get what they need from you, they move on to the next person. You don't want to lose customers because you're not keeping proper inventory. So we have the different kind of plastics, the who supplied you, the unit price, the quantity that you purchased, the quantity that was sold. Then you have the quantity, the balance remaining, then the total value of your inventory. So this forms a part of your asset. It's a liquid asset for you because it can easily be turned into money. Now, let's look at something we call the imprest or petty cash account. Now, the imprest is an account that you use in the office or in your business. You can't just be bringing money out from the bank all the time. Sometimes money is kept maybe with the cashier or with a staff in the office who dispenses as needed. For instance, you want to buy stapler and pin. Yeah, you don't have to go to the bank for that. They can easily take from the imprest, and the imprest is analyzed. A lot of businesses run on imprest basis or petty cash, that they have the cash. Oh, they want to quickly get somewhere. So they run that account in and out, in and out, in and out. And at the end of the period, at the end of the month, it is analyzed so that you know how much you have actually spent through the imprest, right? On things like transportation, maintenance, they came to repair something in the office or in your business or in your factory, subscription, you subscribed for data, calls and things like that. Director's lunch, for instance, entertainment. So all those things usually comes from imprest. Sometimes, okay, let's look at something in imprest again. One thing I've noticed about business owners is that at times they bring out money from their pocket and it is not recorded anywhere. Now, if you have such a thing happening in your business, please tell your staff to record it as imprest. Tell your staff to record it as imprest so that you know that money, because the money you're spending is money from your business as well, right? Is something that is going out of your business. So tell them to record it as imprest so that you don't lose track of that money. Many businesses lose track of their monies like that. And at the end of the day, they end up paying huge amount of tax to the government. Why? Because they're not keeping their imprest account properly. Then we have what we call the payroll. Payroll is simply salaries, benefits of staff, and the likes. So we have the payroll where you have the date as well, the name of the customer, the role, their gross salary, bonuses, if any. Then we have what we call pay as you earn, payee. A lot of businesses don't do it. They don't take payee out of the monies of their staff. That's their own personal income tax, right? You ought to do that. And you can easily get payee calculators online. Just go to Google, you'll find payee calculators, even Nigerian payee calculators, right? Can easily calculate for you. A staff is collecting 160,000, for instance. It will calculate the pay so that you can deduct it and pay to the state government. Yeah, pay if it's the person is not a federal staff. These are businesses. So there's no federal staff in this. They are the only ones who pay to the FRS. But the state inland revenue services collect the pay, because there will be a day they will come and knock on your business doors and say they want to see the records of your payee. And if you're not able to provide them with that record, you will pay through your nose. Yeah, you'll pay for it. Let me not say through your nose, but you will pay. Yeah, and it might be more than you can chew, right? Then people end up wanting to negotiate and things. Well, you can cut this out by being consistent, calculating it and being consistent, right? Then your payroll account will also help you with things like leave allowances, sanctions. If, let's say, someone destroyed something and there's a reduction in salary, so it is deducted, then you have their net pay that their monthly pay is calculated from. So these are just little things. Then we have the fixed assets register. You know, we were talking about they bought things like office furniture, office printer, and things like that. This is one of the things that a lot of businesses don't do. They do not record their assets. Your assets are important. Your investors are going to be asking about your assets. You must record assets. So things like generator, for instance, that's what we call plants and machinery. They are machines, right? We have furniture and fittings. Okay, so aside from generators, there are other plants and machineries. You may have a manufacturing plants where you have things, you know, that you use to manufacture. Those things are categorized as plants and machineries. Then we also have, under assets, we have office furnitures and fittings. Things like the chairs you bought in your office, the tables you bought. Fittings are things like fan, right? Electricals, and all those things are assets to your business. For instance, if it's a rented place, you can pick up all your things and take them to your next office, right? You don't have to leave it there. They are assets to you. We also have land and building for those who have their own land, their own building. You know, it is recorded under the fixed asset register. We also have things like office printers. We call them office equipments, computers, you know, and the likes. So these are fixed assets, right? We also have what we call current assets. I'll show you that when we get to the balance sheet. We also have what we call current assets. Current assets are the balances in your bank, in your cash, your stock. Why do we have fixed and then we have current assets? Fixed asset may take a bit of time for you to sell and turn to money, right? They are not easily turned to money, to liquid assets, to liquid cash. But things like your stock, you can easily sell. Things like the cash in the bank, cash in your add cash that you have in the office. You know, those things are easily disposable. So once you dispose of them, you can have very quick cash, right? So that's why we have them as current, and then we have the fixed assets, the ones I mentioned, generators and those things that we have spent money on. They are fixed. They are not liquid. They are not moving in and out. Stock is moving. I'm buying, I'm selling. The stock is increasing, is decreasing. Fixed assets don't move like that. It's only when you maybe something goes bad, you can remove it out of your asset list. Don't leave it there. Once something goes bad, remove it from your asset list. And when you buy more, you add it to your asset list. Now we have what we call our account receivable. So you sold some things on credit to a customer, Mr. Charles. You sold plastic bottles of 125,000. Like the person that said, oh, most of their business is accrual basis. So you have a lot of receivables, customers have not paid. And, it also happens in service-based businesses where you have done the service, you have already rendered the service, but payment has not been made for that service, right? So you have your account receivables where you have all of these clients, all of these customers listed, what they are owing you, what they have paid, and what is outstanding, so that you can easily follow up on it. And this can also be automated. There are softwares you can use to automate this, yeah, such that the customer will keep getting messages that, oh, their payment is due, their payment is due, their payment. It helps you receive money faster and helps the cash flow of your business. Because if people are owing you so much, you will also not be able to do business properly. If your money is hanging, you can't do so much. You are limited by the little that you now have that you can buy with. But if you have your customers being reminded consistently, I found that it is whoever is in the customer's face, whoever is in the client's face first, that gets paid first. So you have to be in their faces so that your money comes out. It's not just doing business. You can see some very big businesses doing business. There's so much activity, but the liquidity is very, very low. They have so much money outside. Then they will now start pursuing the customers. If you leave your money for too long in the hands of customers, they will invest it elsewhere. Money that you should be making profit off of, they will invest it elsewhere. And that's why proper bookkeeping is important. If you are not keeping proper books, you will find that your monies are just there, and you can't use your head to remember, oh, Mr. somebody is owing me, Mr. John has not paid, oh, Mr. this has not, if you don't have proper records. So you must keep proper records so you can remind them on time, you can collect your money on time, and your business can continue to grow and expand and enlarge, right? Then we have the creditors. We call them the accounts payable. The people you are yet to pay that you are owing, right? So, for instance, OK Plastics, Mr. Bash Nigeria Limited bought products of what, 400,000, only paid 160. Yeah. So they have 240 outstanding. This helps you know those that you are owing. And, working on your receivables, like I said, is so important so that you can pay your creditors on time, so that your line of credit is not blocked. Once people see that you don't pay on time, they will block your line of credit. And that can affect your business adversely, especially with the kind of things that we have in the economy all around the world. Really, the prices of things have really skyrocketed. So a lot of businesses need credit. In order for you to have good credit, you must collect your money as at when due. So keeping proper records will help you collect and help you also make payments to those you owe on time, right? Okay, so next, we're going to quickly look at the income statement. I want us to look at the income statement, then we'll look at the balance sheet, and then we will look at the cash flow statement. Now, Mr. Bash Nigeria Limited, their total sales, because they have kept those basic records that I showed you just now, they can easily pull out their total sales into their income statement. You can see it here, right? 3.6 million. Purchases, their total purchases, all that they bought that is directly related. So they buy plastics. They sold the plastics and they have made 3.6 million. Now, the plastics they bought that they used in making these sales, not all of their purchases, mind you. The ones that that's why we have the inventory, because it shows you what you have as your balance. So in order for you to get these purchases, you must have what we call, sharing is paused. Okay, so let's start sharing again. All right, now let's look into the account. I was talking about the sales. I didn't know you could not really see that. Sorry about that. So they've made sales, they've sold products, what 3.6 million for the period that we're looking at. It could be a month, it could be a quarter, it could be biannually, it could be annually. But I would advise that books are kept monthly and accounts are done monthly. Why? When mistakes are being made, you can easily correct them month on month, as opposed to just doing the accounts and then waiting till forever to put things together. In fact, at that point, you're even tired. You're just looking at it and wondering, how am I going to do all of this? But if you do it on a monthly basis, you will see that you can easily identify where you are making good sales and then concentrate more on it. That's why I love numbers so much. Your purchases, where you're spending most of your money. If you're spending it on a product that is not really moving, then you'll stop and start buying more of that one that is moving, right? If you're spending too much on salaries, for instance, maybe you have too many workers doing nothing, then you can cut down on that. Yeah. If transportation is too high, then you look at the loopholes. What is causing it? Why? Because you're doing it regularly on a monthly basis, as opposed to waiting to quarterly or biannually or annually. At the end of the day, it's all water under the bridge. If somebody has stolen from you, for instance, I had a client who had an issue like that. The people working with him were actually selling and not remitting the money. So they were just having the time of their lives with his money, buying all manner of things. So he started noticing that his people were using iPhones and all of that, and he wasn't paying them that much to be able to afford such phones. So he called us in, we did the audit, and we found out that a lot of things were missing, a lot of products were missing that were not accounted for. So during questioning, as we broke down the accounts, they had some accounts, but a lot of them were missing. So we were able to piece things together, because one good thing that he did was he kept his invoices, and we were able to look at all the products that came in, what they recorded as what they sold, and what was left in their stock. So what was missing in between is what had been sold and pocketed by the staff, right? So you must have a good record keeping system, and also ensure your records are being done consistently. Your inventory, you do your stock counts consistently. Have people who are doing that and supervise, monitor Don't abandon your business. You know, sometimes we are told that businesses should be able to run without you. It is not totally true. It is not totally true. And I'll tell you why. I run about 5 businesses. You know, there's only so much staff can do on their own. Even banks, owners of banks, I've been privileged to, be in meetings with bank MDs, CEOs, and the likes. And when you hear them talk, they are talking about hands-on things, how much their hands are in the nitty-gritty of the running of the business. You'll think that these are big men. They don't do this kind of thing anymore. Brothers and sisters, it is not so. So, we are still in the infancy stage. Keep your eyes on your business, or else, people will enrich themselves with your business, through your business. You have systems and structures in place. You must audit those systems and structures to see that they are actually working, or you will find yourself in a situation where people have stolen from you, like that person I was giving you an example. They stole millions and millions from him. He had to start again from the scratch, and now the business is doing very well, fantastically well. We're still working with them, and they are doing beautifully well, right? And that's one thing I found, one common thing I found in a lot of people will come to us because of lack of proper records. They find themselves in that place where they have been duped and people have stolen from them. People have destroyed things, destroyed their reputation with their suppliers, destroyed their reputation with their customers. They've gone behind to do deals with customers and things because things are not being kept in their proper places. So let's do that, right? So purchases, I told you about direct purchases, the plastics, the purchase of the plastics. That's what you have here, not any other thing. Purchases, just the direct, in some cases, you have cost of sales. If you are manufacturing, you see cost of sales. You have to put this and put this and put that. All those things come together as cost of sales. Then that gives you what we call the gross profit. Gross profit, when business owners see, they are so happy like this now. This is 1.6 million and oh man, we've made so much money. That's the good part. Now, the other part is salaries. Takes a chunk of your gross profit. That's 760,000. Rent. If you're renting the facility you're using, electricity, fueling, transportation, airtime, data subscription, repairs that had to be done, several things. By the time you pull out all your expenses, both from your imprest and from your expense accounts that you have kept, like I showed you, you will see the expense came down to, yes, definitely. You can get the slides. Somebody just sent a message if they can get the slides. You can get the slides after the training. Okay, so you see the total expenses, and the total expenses coming down to 1.563. At that point, a lot of business owners are holding their head like, all the money is gone, right? It doesn't have to be so. If it's like this the first month, you will be able to manage things better the second month if you're keeping tabs on your business, right? You'll see that the net profit at the end of the day is just 76,730. That cannot grow a business. It cannot grow a business. That is why. But if you're not keeping these records, how will you know? A lot of people think in their head. I have some people who will say, I remember. We now did fuel, this amount. We now did, until you start seeing hard figures like this, you don't know how your business is doing. And if you don't know how your business is doing, your business might be dying and you you don't even know anything about it, right? So let's quickly look into what we call the balance sheet or statement of financial position. That's where you have things like your fixed assets that we talked about. We have the furnitures, we have the laptops, we have the delivery bikes if you are into such businesses. Then we have the current assets. We have the bank balances. Let's say you bank with Access Bank, like I do. But, I'm not advertising for Access Bank, but I do. They are trying. Right. So we have your bank balance. In your bank statements, check your bank balance. Your stock inventory in the store. You also have that there. And some people think, now let me clear this misconception. Some people think that because I have stock, I still have money now. I know. But remember that the purchases that you have in your income statement, the purchases and the sales you made and the purchases that came with that this thing has its own expenses. And this one too, by the time you sell it, will have its own expenses. So don't be fooled that, I have money somewhere and I still have money. You can have money in the business and not be making profit. You can have money in the business and not be making profit because remember, you have made sales. So money in the business does not mean that it equals to profit, does not also equal business growth, right? Then we have what we call the current liabilities. We have monies payable to those who supplied the products, bank loan, if any, right? These are liabilities. Liabilities are things that we owe people, those that we are supposed to pay. Then we have equity. Equity is the amount of money we brought into the business, the capital, that's our equity. And as you bring in more and more money into your business, you keep increasing your equity. Yeah, you keep increasing, this equity will keep increasing. Then the profit that you make from the business, see the meager profit, just 76,000, you add it, is part of your equity at the end of the day, right? So basically, these are some of just the basic things that a business owner should be able to have in their business and look at from time to time to know the health of their business. Someone said, like, seriously, expenses. Yes, expenses. You have to, expenses can also help you in a way, because with these same expenses, you may decide that, okay, we've been selling this product at this particular price. It's also good for you to go and do a survey. See how much others are selling theirs. Where can we increase our prices so that we can make more? If, for instance, you have checked all your expenses and you cannot cut out anything, I don't believe you can cut out anything, really. There are places you must be able to cut some things out, streamline some things. But if, for instance, you're not able to cut out anything, then that means the sales needs to go up. You need to either increase the volume of sales or increase the prices of your products, right? And it cuts across every sector, whether it's a service-based business or whatever. Once you do your accounts and you see that you're not making enough profits and you have looked at your costs, the costs are not matching up. You have checked, you can't cut anything out anymore. You have tried and tried. Then you have to increase the volume of sales coming in so that with the same number of staff, with the same rent, with the same electricity, with the same fuel, you are selling more and then pushing up your profit, right? I think that can really help. I think that can really help. Yes, an NGO. Somebody asked the question, does an NGO need to prepare balance sheet? Yes, an NGO does need to prepare balance sheet. You have to. You have to, because NGOs have assets as well. Well, you may not be having things like stock, but if the NGO is dealing with people, is dealing with stock, you have to distribute things and all, you will have stock. So you do have to prepare such accounts, right? So for some NGOs, you have templates that your donors will send to you. Equity is simply what you brought into the business, the things you brought in. Somebody is asking equity. All right, so quickly, let's move on to question and answers. You can go ahead and ask your questions so that I can provide some quick answers. We have to close. We have gone far beyond the time. Wow, I didn't see the time, 1 hour, 40 minutes. Wow, but I hope you've gotten value for your time. All right, so can we have question and answers while we're waiting for the questions and answers? For some of us, yes, we can sit down and put this together. For some of us, we can just do the basics, maybe the general one that I showed you at first, where you just put everything, and you need someone to put it together for you. That you have to get the service of an accountant or a bookkeeper to put things together. For you. Also, for some of us, this accounting, some people like, accounting, I'm not really into it or whatever. You can get someone to work on it for you. Just make sure you're keeping proper records and receipts and all of that. You can contact us. We don't charge much. We'll help you with that. It's not really a big deal. But knowing the basics is important, right? Very, very important for your business, right? And we're also looking at putting together a training for those who want to learn, take it to a deeper level. Yeah. Take it to a deeper level, learn deeper. You need hand holding. You need us to hold your hands through, prepare templates for you to use and all. We're putting a training together. We'll let you know as soon as it's ready. Very, very little, meager amounts. You just joined a few minutes ago. No problem. We're going to send the recording to the group that everyone joined, so you can always play it back. Why is purchases different from expenses? Purchases are directly related to the sales that you made. Like this example of Mr. Bash Nigeria Limited. They are into sales of plastics. When they go to purchase plastics from OK Plastics, that is their purchases, right? Some businesses do not have purchases. For instance, service-based businesses, they just have their income and then they have their expenses, right? They may have direct expenses, but it's basically income and expenses. But for businesses like manufacturing businesses, trading businesses, and the likes that have to purchase things, then you definitely need, you do purchases for the business. Without those purchases, you have no business, right? Some of these expenses can be cut out. You can decide not to pay salaries and just do your business on your own, but I will advise that you pay yourself salary, right? Out of your business. Don't just put hand in your business and spend. It can kill the business. Rent, you have to pay rent. These are just basic expenses. Transportation, fueling of generators and things like that. These are basic expenses. And those ones only come under an income statement. They don't go into the balance sheet. It's whatever profit you make here, you get here that goes into your balance sheet, right? Okay, I discovered that at the end of the month, we really don't have cash. Let me go back to that person. This is Dame Toyi Joseph. We really don't have cash in the bank after salaries and expenditure. It usually worries me. So that you need to look at your cash flow. Do you have customers who owe you? Yeah, you have customers who owe you money such that you're not able to recover those monies on time. So when you look into your bank account, there's no money, right? That means that enough money is not coming in. Maybe you have too many creditors. Your business is running on a accrual basis, just like I explained earlier. So that might be it, except I have more information. Yes, your accruals are your income. I'm still answering them, Tony. Your accruals are your income. What you will now do, they are record them under revenue, right? The revenue that comes into your business, your sales and all income, we call it income, revenue, sales, they are all turnover. These are names that we use. Now, record all of them. What you now do is those that are owing you, like I said, your account receivable must be on point, must be regularly updated so that you can go after them. This can be automated, right? With some softwares, you can automate it so that those who are owing you are being reminded. Maybe every 3 days or something, they're getting mails from you, or you are being alerted so that you can put across calls to them, or messages are being sent to them to remind them. It's those who are in front of the people who are owing them that get paid. So if you have reminders, it will help you. All right, Enoch is asking for our contacts. Our contacts will be sent to the group, so that you can easily get in touch with us. Let's see. Any other questions? Yes, we have accruals carried over to the next month. Okay, Dame Twain. All right. So you need to work on those accruals so that your money is coming on time, so that the cash flow is better in your business and you can do more, right? How do you calculate purchases? How do you calculate the purchase? Is it just for the period you are accounting for? Yes, it is the sales. Let me give you an example. I don't want to, we have to end the class. I don't want to elongate it too much, but let me quickly give you this. All right, so you have the things that you bought from your from your supplier, right? You have them in your store. When you made sales, maybe you sold half of them and made 3 million, right? You will calculate that half, not the entire thing you bought for the period. That half, maybe the cost is 1.5. So it is 3 million minus the purchases 1.5 before you now take out your expenses and get your profit, right? So the rest that you have in store, they are still assets that you will sell later. I hope you get that, Tochukwu Osondu. What accounting tools would you advise an entrepreneur or business owner to adopt with a view to monitoring their businesses? Some employees have been known to upgrade their ways of interfering with sales and records. What accounting knowledge or tools would you advise a small business owner to adopt? Well, there are several, but the best thing you can do, there's no accounting method or software or app that you use that cannot work. You have Wave, you have QuickBooks, you have, although some of these things are a bit complicated, you can use Excel, and things like that. There are templates that we create for our clients that, there are places that you lock. They cannot, there are things they cannot tamper with. It's already passworded, so they cannot tamper with some places. They can only impute some things. They can't change something. So we can make templates for you if you'd like. But at the same time, the best thing for any business owner to do is to monitor their business. I tell you, that's just the truth. That is just the truth. You have to monitor what is going on. Have constant reviews, right? Yeah. My man of God, Pastor Chris, said that anyone that is going to make quick progress must have constant reviews of their records. The one that does not review their records will not make quick progress. Their progress will be very, very limited. They will either not be stagnated or not just make any progress at all. So let's look at some other questions. I do construction contracts and crop farming. Will I keep two separate accounts? Yes, you will keep two separate accounts. You can't keep them together. That's from Isaac. Oscar. For those of us that do our products and sales from home, we've been told that we have to calculate electricity, water, gas, and all other resources that the business shares with their household. How does that work? Well, this is what we call assumption in accounting. You have to assume that, okay, if I were to be at work, this electricity I'm using is going to be costing this amount. Okay, so we use this place for business and we live here as well. So if we're paying a part of the rent, how much would we have paid? So you make some financial assumptions and take a part of those costs. Because if you keep taking the money without taking out costs, you just think, oh, this business is so, hey, before you know it, you are relaxed. The day you have to move out of that house, you will now begin to see how expensive things can be, so you do that to keep yourself abreast of costs, and it will help you. So you just use some percentages as you deem fit. You work from this hour to this hour, calculate it. It is quite overwhelming to do some of these calculations, is it? You'll get used to it. We have some other trainings. We can help you and we can hold your hands to just make it easy for you. So it's not so difficult. The more you know about it, the more you love it. Yeah. And when you see the profits rolling in as a result, you're going to love it the more. Any direct effects on SOR, or I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this. You're going to get the recording. We're going to end it now. I think we've taken enough time. Okay. Please, Ma, which software is suitable for construction and real estate? Well, you can use a number of softwares. You can use QuickBooks. You can use this is Zoho now. We'll post some things on the group. Just stay on the group and keep abreast of, so you can ask some of these questions because we have to close. we have to end this. If one enters all one's transactions at the end of the month, sends them to your company, at what cost? How long does it take? All right, so we're still going to be available on the group that you joined from. So you can easily, you'll get our contacts there. We can talk, discuss on that. And then, do you have a training for new accounting graduates, Ma? Yes, definitely, we do. We do. We do have training for accounting graduates and even non-accounting graduates that are interested in learning bookkeeping to start a business, to cater for, small businesses and startups. We have trainings for them where we train you on what to do, and then you can go into the market and begin to do accounts for businesses, and you make a lot of money. All right. Thank you all very much. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a great time. I did. I certainly did. And I hope to see you again at our next training. So please do stay on the group. And I'm sure that by the next time we're having our training, you'll be informed, and then we'll have this time together again. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. All right. So we're going to end it here now. We can't, I know some of us are still sending messages, but we may not be able to take everything. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Very informative. Thank you. Very inspiring class and an eye-opener. I'm glad you gained something from it. I'm glad you gained something from it. Thank you all very, very much. And have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your day. And then I will see you again next time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all your nice words. Thank you. Thank you.